Hello, I'm Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new 10 Magic Stone Voice Godfest that is coming to North America on Halloween. So, this 10 Stone special Godfest is basically akin to the Super Godfest that we've come to love and enjoy. Essentially, there is going to be an inflated Magic Stone cost, which is 10 in this case, but there will be the compromise of having significantly higher rolling rates as well as featuring the top tier prize cards from the heroine event. So this special rare machine will obviously pop out the listed cards. You can find the list on the Gung Ho's official Facebook page or in-game rolling rates itself, but all the cards will also come max awoken, max level, and plus 297. So for a brand new account, that is pretty spectacular. These are things that they never could have done on their own, really. But for a more veteran player, it's not so great, unfortunately, because when you think about it, we can easily get pluses, we can get Tamadros, we can get monster experience. Like, those are things we can get through stamina. So in theory, we are paying a couple of magic stones probably per roll just to have those extra perks and benefits. So it's kind of arguable, like, is it really worthwhile in that sense? But the thing is, there is going to be a 33% chance to roll any Godfest exclusive or the featured heroine cards. And that is pretty high. Like, if you compare it to the previous Super Godfest for the 7 stones, it was, I believe, like a 19.4% chance of rolling, and we're only paying 3 more magic stones by comparison, and the rolling rates are healthier overall. So this is quite nice. There are technically better perks and benefits in the sense that they are at least max level, max pluses. So, like, this is quite a strong event. And, like, at first I was a little hesitant. I was like, oh, 10 magic stones can't be that great. But when the rolling rates are this strong, it makes me more inclined to think maybe I should be rolling. And then maybe in that same train of thought, maybe you should be rolling as well. Because when I think about it, like, we are going to be receiving 100 magic stones tomorrow at the same time, as well as the Great Witch rare machine, as well as this special 10 stone Godfest. So lots of exciting things. So if you are planning to make an alt account, now is by far the best time. You can reroll until you get something truly magical and just go with that. Otherwise, like, there's really no better time to make an alt at this point in time. So I'm just trying to think ahead of what are the other big notable events that could possibly be coming to North America. The one that's on the forefront of my mind is Dragonbound Dragon Collar, and that should be coming, and that's my guesstimate what Gung Ho North America is going to be announcing on November 12th, because they said more things coming on November 12th. I believe that's going to be Dragonbound Dragon Collar, so that is an event you definitely want to roll if you haven't rolled already at this point in time. But if you're like myself and have heavily rolled in Dragonbound Dragon Collar and have the 5 stars, the appeal obviously diminishes greatly because, well, you already have the top tier cards. It's not, you're going to be kind of just rolling for the chance of a 6 star, but even then, or 7 star, the odds are not that great. You're probably better off doing here because at least the Godfest exclusives can be used as monster exchange trade fodder in the future. So for the featured cards, like I said already, the Gung Ho official Facebook page actually posts the rolling rates in game. You can also see them as well, but they have kind of split this event into 2 days with different highlights on each day. Now, just because a card is not set as highlight, doesn't mean you can't roll it. They're still available. They just have a lower rolling rate. But in fact, it's actually 2 times higher for highlights. So for the Godfest exclusives or heroine cards, there is a 0.75% chance for non-highlight, and then for highlights, obviously 1.5. Pantheon cards are twice as high. 1.5 for non-highlight, 3% for highlighted Pantheon cards. So, like, this is still a pretty strong lineup for the most part overall. Like I said, it should be a 1 in 3 chance of acquiring a valuable card for 10 magic stones, and that's pretty impressive for the most part. Like I said, only really Dragonbound Dragon Collar can kind of compete because those 5 stars are so delicious overall. So obviously the decision of whether or not to roll obviously comes down to your own monster box, individual needs, personal preferences, and goals for the game, but this is quite a strong event. And I'm just going to be, like, showcasing what are the highlighted cards. There are other Godfest exclusives featured here that are not highlighted. Basically, you can kind of just look here, like all the highlighted cards here, and then all the highlighted cards there. Basically, on day 1, these are the highlights, and that means these cards here would be the non-highlights. And then vice versa. On day 2, these are highlights. These would be the non-highlighted cards. So just kind of something to keep in mind in the back of your head, if I'm not mistaken. So Day one, I feel, is a bit stronger. You have Ilmina, you have Planar, which are the two out of the three top heroine prize cards, so that's obviously tremendously valuable. You have stronger leaders. You have Ryune, you have Dark Metatron. You also have Fujin, which makes it quite exciting as well. And you also have Skald, you have Blue Sonya, you have Madu. Like, it's quite powerful overall. But what is perhaps the biggest selling point of day one is the fact that there is no Raijin, Kana, or Morrigu being featured, because in all honesty, those three Godfest exclusives are quite weak, and day two does highlight those cards, so that does make day two obviously a little weaker. Ryune is better than Sylvie. Green Sonya, I'd say, is better than Blue Sonya, so like there are a little bit of pros and cons. Day two does have the better Great Witches. They have Reach and Saline, which are stronger in my opinion, but you only have one featured heroine card, so a little drawback there. Of course, you also have the newly buffed Nays and Cottons, and Cotton has become incredibly powerful. 777 combo, follow-up attack, massive stats in solo mode. It's just too good to be true almost. So again, the decision of what day to roll obviously comes down to what you need most. If you have most of the day one cards, obviously day two would be more appealing in that sense. But I'd say generally speaking, if you had none of these cards whatsoever, I would say day one is a little stronger overall. So again, to roll or not to roll. So like I did say, like I was a little skeptical, but when I realized that it was a 1 in 3 chance or 33% rolling rate, it made me much more excited about this event because, well, that is quite nice. Like I was just definitely on the wrong end of the bell curve on the previous Super Godfest. I had pretty abysmal rates when I should have been getting like significantly higher, but that's just the way the rare machine works, and that's the way RNG works, and that's kind of the problem with gacha games. It kind of comes and goes. Like in theory, over time, you should normalize and even out for rolling rates, but there will be events where you do better or worse, so it's always going to be a gamble. You always run the risk of being disappointed no matter how strong an event is. Like even if it was like say a 9 out of 10 chance of getting the good card, you might get the bad card 5 times in a row. So like the point of the matter is like there is a gamble involved all the time. So in regards to strong possible events coming up in 2018 or the remainder of 2018, Dragonbound Dragon Caller is what I presume is going to be announced on November 12th. In addition to that, Japan had a revival of the Full Metal Alchemist, and it did make all the 6-star cards stronger, but Edward is still kind of a big step up from the rest. And in all honesty, the 5-star cards are quite lackluster, so it's best to really approach the Full Metal Alchemist collab by the Monster Exchange system. Trade in for your Edward, don't roll the machine. And I kind of feel that it's going to be the same trend for Christmas if we get Christmas on time. Halloween had two kind of strong cards. I'm going to presume at Christmas might give one brand new card and then buff an existing card. And of course, you just Monster Exchange for those accordingly. So I can't really foresee any truly magical event being layered onto us after this already. Like Gung-Ho has been incredibly generous. We got really strong events going on right now. I can't really think of anything based on Japanese timelines that is likely to come to us. Gin-Tama collab, licensing issues I feel is going to be the issue, so it's doubtful I feel that it's going to actually come to North America. So again, I would roll in this Godfest if you have the Dragonbound Dragon Caller cards, but if you don't have the Dragonbound Dragon Caller cards, maybe you want to actually save and roll there because they're so powerful. So in conclusion, this is a surprisingly strong event. Like we are going to get 100 magic stones. We have the Great Witch rare machine as well at the same time. So if you are planning to make an alternate account, now is the best time to do so. Like it's just truly magical. You can just re-roll until you get something that you really want, and then bam, you're going to be sailing along your way and pairing with your main account and doing magical things. For myself, I am quite tempted to roll in day one. I might do so. If I do, I will make sure I stream it and then record it for YouTube for all of you to enjoy along with me at that time. So just let me know what you think about this event in the comments below. Do you think it's worth rolling? Do you plan on rolling? And if you do plan on rolling, who do you actually hope to roll? Hopefully you'll have a fantastic day. I wish you all the best luck in your own pet adventures, and happy puzzling.